Jamar Chase.
Oof.
Just at one day
13
after
minutes
Zach Taylor says he's going to be practicing this week. Jamar Chase, oh, well, he's not practicing. He's on the sideline. You see him right there. Hat, shades, right down there on the riverfront.
That's a good way to do practice, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat, but is it a good way to do practice when you are just over a week out from the first game of the season, hasn't practiced obviously all week, and he's 2 years until he's a free agent, but he really, really wants that new deal.
I'll tell you what, the guys messing with him in stretch lines seem to feel pretty good about him being there. I know that when you're a player and you feel as if you deserve money and respect, you will do whatever it takes to get it. And for Jamar Chase, he's taking this thing down to the wire. Zach Taylor, obviously, he's going to bite his tongue a little bit moving forward after saying he was going to be available week 1. And then Jamar said, not so fast, my friend. And he came about 13 minutes late to practice. And that's a hefty fine there, too. But Jamar said, if all goes as planned, I will be recouped on my fine and I will be made whole. And at the tune of what? What is the number he's looking for?
He was looking for $40 million a year are the reports. Now, that's obviously asking price, the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL right now. You have Justin Jefferson at $35 million a year. CeeDee Lamb just went for $34 million a year. I think there's a world in where you can justify paying him the most of the NFL. Like I think like 36, 37, very reasonable. 40, maybe a little bit too big of an ask, but this guy was a top 5 wide receiver. He is super young still, and at only 24 years old, will be 24 the entire season, and you can kind of buy out the first 2 years here where he's starting to get expensive, right? Year 5 of that rookie deal will be in the $20+ million range already, so it's not crazy to think that, you know, from the Bengals' perspective, just get it done.
Like, get your guy taken
just
care
get it
of.
done.
I don't see this Bengals team having success without Jamar Chase having an all-pro season, okay?
Yep.
Him and Joe Burrow, they have synergy, okay? That's hard to find in the National Football League. These are a bunch of randoms that have been brought together to play one of the toughest team games on planet Earth. And you got to take care of your guys. If they've got a good thing going, you got to keep it going. We know Joe Burrow's going to be in Cincinnati. Let's find a way to make Jamar Chase a Cincinnati Bengal for life, okay? At least set him up into his 3rd deal. I think that you got to pay this guy, and you got to get this distraction, this dark cloud that's floating over your building, out of the atmosphere as quick as possible so it's sunshine and rainbows when it's Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
The one sort of interesting storyline here that I think is worth just touching on for the people at home is Mike Brown, owner of the Cincinnati Bengals, did not come to this franchise the way the billionaires of lately we've been seeing come to the franchise in terms of having money to begin with. His money is wrapped up entirely in the Cincinnati Bengals franchise. And with how the CBA demands that contracts work are when you have guaranteed money, and they already obviously gave Joe Burrow a ton of guaranteed money, you have to put that money away in an escrow account as an NFL owner. This is a rule that was first started way back, I believe, like 60s, 70s, when a lot of teams were going broke and needing to basically, this was a way to protect the players in those early CBAs to say that, hey, they had to get that money. And so kind of a leftover of that. But now with $100, $200 million deals getting guaranteed at the time, some of these owners don't necessarily have the cash flow to do so. And so he's going to have to, so Mike Brown's thinking, no, it's not just $40 million. I'm going to have to go take out loans to put that money in escrow to get to those numbers that Jamar Chase might want. So it's kind of a compounding effect that Bengals fans will let them hear because they've decried him for years and years and years now as being one of the cheaper owners in the NFL. They finally started paying guys of late, and it's obviously led to wins of late. But it's something to watch here with this deal, and the Bengals may just call Jamar Chase's bluff here, and it may be something that very well lasts in the regular season.
Gosh, what a gut check going into week 1. If I'm a Bengals fan, I would just be livid. But at the same time, I can understand where this owner's coming from, right? Mike Brown is a guy who is frugal, pragmatic, and he wants to take care of his franchise because that's what he has. He knows that potentially another Jamar Chase could come down the road one day and fall into his lap in Cincinnati. But I'm a player. I say pay the guys. They've gotten you to the Super Bowl, these two, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. And when they're hot, there's nobody that can stop you. So you have to do whatever it takes, even if you have to take a little bit of a loan. You know, you got to call Switzerland, maybe sell a couple of those Rolexes. Let's get this guy Jamar Chase on the roster.